What's that, sorry? Just majors. Yeah, like if it's held up in goal, I'm going to blow time off, but don't. You'll know if I...
Kia ora and welcome to the Trust Arena in Auckland West, and today bringing you 5 games of action from Auckland Rugby League's semi-finals and finals series. It's a great pleasure to have your company. Nei rā te mihi kia koe. I trust that you are having a pleasant experience as we build up here for the very first of our 5 games. My name's Dale Husband. Beside me, my friendly colleague Rusty Matua will be calling the action from the commentary position in the stand here at West Auckland, and sideline with our colleague as well, Corey Rosser. But an important game here. Now, the Otahuhu Leopards will be going head-to-head with the Ponsonby Ponies, and the winner here in the Crown Lift Truck Sharman Cup Major semi-final will go into next week's grand final in the Sharman Cup. Of course, that will be against last week's winners, the Bay Roskill Viking. And the winners of that game, of course, will elevate into the Fox Championship for 2018. Here is the lineup for the Otahuhu Leopards. At number 8, Penny Pepper, Va'afusuanga, and Connor Purcell, the front row. Kuia Uate Benedict, the engine room. Brodie Clark with the responsibility of steering the ship today, with Sean Motu Muarai. This is the Ponsonby Ponies. 4 your names to watch out there: Tamati Guthrie, Aaron Nortai, Dion Briggs, all very experienced. Daniel Bell as well, Ben McCullum at the back. Some pretty handy players lining up today as we see the toss. Aaron Keisha is the referee for today's action. We're very pleased to be able to bring it to you across New Zealand and indeed across the globe via the live streaming capabilities. Just a quick check with our man sideline, Corey Rosser. Tēnā koe, Corey. Welcome to the broadcast today. Looking forward to this one. We won't have Corey just as yet. Let's go across to my colleague in the commentary position, Rusty Matua. An important game and a good season for the Ponies.
Absolutely. It's been a long time since they've been up in the grand finals and finals football. So a long time coming since the heady days of the early 70s when they were the Grand Slam champions in the days of the halcyon days of Roger Bailey and the like. But definitely a game on the line today for do or die for Otahuhu. Trying to get back into the first division after the first time in the Sharman in their history. So a lot riding on the game's result today for both clubs.
Well, we know that the Otahuhu faithful are here, hoping that last week they'll be able to turn it around. Otahuhu will be playing from left to right, and of course the proud Ponsonby club, strengthened by a lot of these players who have returned, recognising the difficulties that the club's facing with changing demographics and the like. So it's been a pretty proud season for the Ponsonby Ponies, who regularly featured in Fox finals in years gone by. So we're about to get underway here. The Leopards playing from left to right. The track in absolutely perfect condition as well here for the start of the game. And the first to handle the football is Dion Briggs. And he's put down just outside the 20, 15 metres in from the western touchline where we're broadcasting from today. A quick play of the ball for Nortai. Aaron, very experienced. And we'll play the ball just short of the halfway. Briggs again with a double pump early on. Carts it across the advantage line and into enemy territory. Down the right side with Moafu. This is Big Daniel. He's wrapped up on the 5th and final tackle. Let's see what Ponsonby aim to do with the kick at the back end. It's worked that way by Takane towards touch, and a little bit of a mistake down the right wing for Mikaele for Otahuhu. And now about 10 metres out from the try line, it's going to be the first scrum, and a great opportunity for Ponsonby. Let's go sideline with Corey Rosser.
We're coming.
Well, we're not hearing Corey here at the moment, but we'll get some work done on his microphone.
Yeah, Tofar there, just unable to pick up that ball cleanly there, giving a repeat set to the Ponsonby Ponies in fine field position now with a scrum on the 10-metre line.
You'll put it in from the middle. When you're ready, go.
Takare with the
It's
scrum
out.
feed.
It's out.
Taken from the back. Ben McCullum shuffles it along out to Tuese.
Release him now, one.
Andrew's got a ton of experience. And in fact, isn't it great that Ponsonby have re-strengthened by calling on those who have an affection for the club. Daniel Bell finds him just 6 metres out from the try line. Great opportunity here for Takare first up. Little step. And went round behind his own man. For a moment I thought that there might have been some talk of a shepherd. So close to the line now, and Ponsonby in a position to issue a challenge. This is Guthrie, Tama Guthrie, trying to slice through the middle of some defence. It shut the door on him quickly. Peeled across Takare with a drop-off ball on the inside. That's covered up nicely. And left the dive for the line. As simple as that from Nutai.
Yeah, and Nutai there seeing the opportunity just on his left edge. Otahuhu there very, very slack with numbering up around the ruck there, and there was a very basic error there. Coach John Ackland be very upset with that, what we call a soft try there. Aaron didn't have to do much at all, just pick the ball up and just go approximately 2 metres, diving to his left edge into a nice little hole on the try line. Otahuhu there guilty of not numbering up around the ruck, especially here.
Well, it was too simple, wasn't it, Rusty? And the hookers always fancy their chances from close range like that. Nutai is no different. Well, the gap opened up too. A drifting effort by Nuka just created a little opportunity. And Nutai in to score. We'll keep you posted unless you're ready to go now. You hearing us all right, though, Corey? You can wave to us. We're just not quite hearing you at the moment. That's good. Well, we're halfway home.
Yeah, we're certainly on our way. But great opening start there to Ponsonby there. Dream start really there. We're given a piggyback set there with that knock-on by their right winger for Otahuhu there. One of their best as well, Setavani Tofa. Just unable to pick that ball up cleanly and giving their piggyback set to Ponsonby inside the 10-metre zone. And Ponies duly converting their try as well, going out to a 6-0 lead. And the perfect start for the Ponsonby Ponies in their some major semi-final here today for the Sharman Cup.
Thanks very much. Well, it was Tofa who made a little mistake from the kick through, but it was a nicely controlled first set anyway from Ponsonby. And Tofa is actually working the right side for the Leopards. Emiliano Michele is now working the left edge for Otahuhu. So a good lead as we approach 4.5 minutes of the game gone. And that was pretty quick scoring opportunity for Ponsonby. Have the ball on their 20-metre line. The big number 11 is Taniela Kava, and he's wrapped up 25 from his own line.
No.
Might have drifted forward, but
on here, Connor.
referee Aaron Keisha was happy enough. Dion Briggs, he's had service for a number of clubs, but a very popular modern-day rugby league player. You've seen him go around for years now. Rusty, what are his major strengths, Dion?
Oh, he's so consistent there. He does his job in there. He's won the Fox Memorial along with the Point Chevalier Pirates as well. And the last time we were here in the stadium when it went to extra time, and that infamous kick by Cody Walker, and Dion was part of that team as well. So he's certainly been around as well as the Northcote Tigers, spent time in Australia. And just want to come back and spend more time with his family and give back to the game that he loves.
So we're with the ball and a solid whack too on the Leopards back rower, who is very, very dusty as he gets to his feet slowly. Ethan Vardy is in jersey number 4 today. He makes a couple of metres, but is then rolled onto his back. But just slow to let him play the football. And so a welcome penalty for the Leopards' efforts from their own 30.
Yeah, no, Otahuhu will definitely appreciate the penalty there, taking some pressure off them. They do have a slight cross-field wind. So as we look at that on camera, the wind's actually coming across the field into the cameras. And so there was a tailwind for that particular kick into touch. And Otahuhu duly takes 20 metres and now takes the tap and up to halfway.
17 is Penny Papa with a good carry through to halfway.
Left side.
Just into Just across the line, this is Connor Purcell with a good carry. He's been very good through 2017. I think we've got Corey Rossell with a sideline now. Connor's been one of the standouts in the Sharman Cup. Let's just stay with the action in case there's a run down the left edge, and that's exactly what happens. But Otahuhu have lost the football, and for the first time, and what's going to be a long day in semi-finals and finals football. Corey Rossell, kia ora.
Yeah, Dale, very physical start to this game, hasn't it? And actually rare for a South Auckland team. They probably give away a little bit of size in comparison to this Ponsonby side. So the battle in the middle is certainly going to be intriguing over the course of this game, and Ponsonby certainly making their mark early on.
You're down there and can tell us a bit more about the wind. There's a bit around too, so who's it favouring in this first half, Corey?
Yeah, probably favouring Ponsonby a little bit in this first half, Dale. But one thing to note, the surface down here is absolutely amazing. It looks like a pool table. So certainly good footy, a good field for footy, and we should see some nice open game.
With the football now, as we can see, it's the Ponies just trying to build on the lead that they have got already. 6-0 lead early on. Remember the winner to play Bay Roscoe. What a season it's been for the boys from Whitney Street. And congratulations to them making their way into the Sharman Cup Grand Final. It's not the first time they've been there. In fact, they were finalists last year as well. Tatatu getting the chocolates in Sharman Cup Grand Final 2016. They will be heading back to the Sharman in 2018 now. So it's Ponsonby on the far side with the football, and Stan Smith in jersey number 4. He's wrapped up just short of the halfway line. Back across field, it's Guthrie.
Is that late? Is that late? It's clear. Okay.
Yeah, Damon Nico was responsible for that turnover with a big hit on Mikaeli on that right wing.
What's that, knock on?
And Damon Nico's integral part of this Ponsonby side. One of the most consistent players this year, speaking with their coach.
It's 3.
Along with Tama Guthrie and Aaron Nu'utai. They've been the catalyst for this Ponsonby side throughout the season, and a huge reason for them being here in the major semi-final today. As Otahuhu looks to get over the halfway now into the Ponsonby zone.
Hands out.
Interestingly enough, the loose forward there for Otahuhu, number 13 there, Benjamin Benedict, is quite a debutant in his debutant year for rugby league. Actually coming from a water polo background, so very contrasting sports there, and quite a change for young Benjamin Benedict. But speaking with Coach John Ackland there, he's been an outstanding performer this year for the club and taken to the game like a duck to water.
So Ponsonby forced back into their own area. The 12 taking it forward is Danny Bell.
Play it on 3. Go. Foot to the ball.
Damon Nico there bringing the ball forward for Ponsonby Ponies on the right edge.
Keep coming.
And,
Go.
we remember seeing him from the last 2 seasons running with the Richmond Rovers. And this was a big year for Ponsonby, for them coming back to try and help Ponsonby get back in the first division for the first time in many, many years. We'd have to certainly go into the archives to see when was the last time that Ponsonby was actually in the Fox Memorial Dale.
Indeed. So the ball's gone end over end, right down the other end of the field. It's a beautiful day here, and a bit of a crowd in too for Otahuhu.
Stand now, 1. On here. Hold, go. Play it on the mark. What's that, mate? Yep. 2 now. Go. Release him!
Otahuhu once again hot on attack now.
Black headgear, left side.
Starting to build momentum is the Otahuhu team now. Getting repeat sets and putting the Ponsonby Ponies defence under pressure. Getting back-to-back sets of attack now. Really looking for Brodie Clark to inject himself into this game. He's been a catalyst for the Otahuhu Leopards this year. And when he's played well, the team's played well. So they're really looking for him to spark the team and to get something going. A beautifully weighted kick here. Just going dead there. Just well left by Drew Tuisi. Ponsonby fullback there is very, very close. There's Geronimo Doyle.
There's even a mark.
Just inches away from scoring a try in the in-goal area. Interesting name there, Geronimo, great name. young nephew of Casino Doyle. Played alongside Casino when I last played for Otahuhu as well. So big kia ora and mihi to Casino. No doubt he is supporting his nephew Geronimo today.
Yeah, it's great to see this continuation of family involvement in the game.
Don't come on again, trainer.
Yeah, we've got quite a few.
Saying the trainer has been
Wait!
eyeballed there
Back here, boys. Just wait.
by referee Keisha. So 11 and a half minutes gone.
Quite a lot of
just the one try.
Yeah, quite a lot of legacy players running on the field today, especially with the Otahuhu Leopards.
Left side, make it. 9.
Young Thomas Favusuanga, from a proud family there with his uncles and his father, all part of the Otahuhu Premiers in years gone by. Richie Favusuanga, Emil Favusuanga.
Stand now, 1.
So very, very proud history that young Thomas Favusuanga continues. Of course, Brody Clark, son of Vinnie Clark and nephew of Artie Clark and Dean Clark. Again, very proud tradition for the Clark family with Otahuhu. Young Connor Purcell, son of Steve Purcell.
Turn here.
So again, great to see so many, of the next generation coming through and supporting their club and being loyal to their club and carrying on those very, very proud traditions.
Connor Purcell with the ball too, 35 metres out from the line as Otahuhu peel it across to the left-hand side.
5 and last.
I noticed Fred Tudufinu on the
Watch the 40,
interchange
20,
bench as well. Hard to find a more popular figure down at the Leopards. Lear, as the kickers.
Yeah, the Tuhoi train brought up his 150th game last year, and a big mihi to the Tuhoi train, Freddie Tudufinu. Another legacy player for Otahuhu is Ethan Nuka, son of Albie Nuka, another Otahuhu Premier, very prominent player, also barter card player as well, and very, very good second rower. And his father was obviously passed on some of his genes. He looks just like his dad, and very lean and tall and very skillful, just like his father as well.
Some good skills on show here in the Sharman Cup Major semi-final. Winner through to play the Vikings. 40 metres out from the Ponsonby line, and they earn themselves another penalty. As we go sideline with Corey Ross. Your thoughts, Corey?
Yeah, both teams, Dale, looking like they want to move each other around a fair bit. Plenty of inside passing, just little short interchanges. Obviously, both fancy their chance through the middle of the park if they can make some, I guess, defensive indecision.
Wait for the touch.
Well, there's certainly dominating proceedings at the moment too, but you would forgive these teams for just building themselves slowly into the game. They're not used to playing at 11 a.m. They're normally playing at 2:30, but it's even Stevens on the footy track today. As the big number 11 carts it forward. This is Taniela Carver. Dummy half work for Nu'utai. Pushes it for McCullum, first receiver, to Guthrie now. And then a straightened run. Comes to an abrupt end as two Otahuhu defenders shut the gate. But they'll keep looking down the right corridor at the moment for an opportunity, the Ponies. And they're up to play it. Nikor plays the ball through the hands of Briggs. He's got it there, works it across to Takane. That ball's gone to ground. Otahuhu will be happy enough to come up with it. And the referee will allow the game to play on. I'm pleased about that. Otahuhu in position, 15 metres from their own line.
Yeah, just a straight pass there, unable to be brought in on the outside edge. And Otahuhu there just allowing advantage from the referee, Aaron Keisha. And it's been a long time since these guys have played against each other in a match of such importance. I think the last time that they did play was actually Aaron's father, Neville Keisha, who would have reffed them many, many years ago at Carlo Park. But great to see these two teams battling once again in a very important match for both clubs.
Well, referee Keisha does not like having trainers in the background. He sees them too often. And this is the 3 trainers that he's sent from the field so far in the match have been going a quarter hour. Just one try so far in warm-up, and that was scored in the 2nd minute by the KG hooker, Nu'utai, from close range.
Go.
Of course, I grew up in a time when Ponsonby were very strong. The Rota brothers, who you'd be well familiar with. Bailey, Tracy, Mans. These were the names, of course. We're talking late 60s, early 70s. A swirling wind has made that an awkward take. But it's been knocked on both ways. And that Otahuhu player slipped in. It's up that he is all right, a bit slow to move. What happened?
Took a head.
Oh, there he is now. Look a bit
Come
dusty,
over
but
here.
he's up now.
Come over here, mate.
Brody Clark.
Let's get the trainer to have a look, mate. You laid down for too long. Let's come over there, boys.
And that's one of the things you might be trying to earn a penalty. But if you stay down for too long, that will prompt the referee
Yeah,
to order a concussion assessment or a head injury assessment. I think that's smart refereeing by Aaron Keisha, and
Ponsonby's white line.
perhaps a reminder
Back to Otahuhu. That's
to
it.
Brody Clark that if it's not as bad as
Cut
it
out already.
seems, don't
Come up.
try milking.
Ponsonby, come up to the white line. Otahuhu,
And as we mentioned last week too, Dale, they've got a new
That's it.
system now with the blue card.
Just
We're
relax.
all familiar with the
Seconds
red card and the yellow card, and the
Your
blue
last
card
man.
now is a suspected
Heads
concussion,
in, arms
where they must
around.
leave the field and be assessed before they can be allowed back onto the field.
So 10 metres out from the try line, here's a
Out.
great chance for the Leopards, peeled away from the back by Fuswanga. And another
No.
unforced
It's
error.
on the ground. It
So
went
the
straight-
Leopards
straight to
making
the ground and
too
then
many
down.
mistakes and a crucial field position that time around, Corey Rosser.
Yeah, John Ackland will be filthy with that one. A good field positioning there, a good chance to build some pressure and make Ponsonby do a bit of defensive work, which they really haven't had to do so far in
Where's
this game.
Ponsonby's
So
last man?
disappointing stuff there from Otahuhu. Definitely need to improve their execution
Nice
over the next few
quickly.
sets.
That's it, thank you. Heads in.
So the
When you're
Leopards will be wanting to force an error here. Just upset the groove here of Ponsonby. Have been pretty steady in the control of the
Stand now, one.
sets.
Yeah,
Has
hold
been
here.
of a high standard here in the semi-final.
Release him now, two.
Trying to poke his way through is Ben McCullum. Earlier in his career, he was a halfback,
Move, three.
has hooked as well.
Come on, go.
Now playing as a back rower.
Stand now on four.
Yeah, Ponsonby there with Sione Nu'uval-Tucker taking in their last ball there, and another player who's been around the traps quite a bit. Played a bit of football for
Hands
Richmond in
out.
particular, and Point Chev also, and now he's really come back to where he started off as a junior back in Ponsonby Ponies. It's always good when you see players return to their junior clubs and to give back something to their clubs that they grew up with as well. And it's always a pleasure to see that happen.
Sylvina Tofa. It was
Stand
a
now,
battle of
one.
attrition last
Here it
week
is here.
for the Leopards
And
in
go.
their semi-final with Bay Rossville. That was at the Leopards' home ground. 4 bone breaks from broken thumbs. Not all from the field, but 4 of the players from last
Release
week unavailable
him.
because of
Keep coming, 14.
breaks.
14. Go.
One, I heard a broken shin on a dance floor or something like that. It's the story. The big number 15 takes the ball forward. There's Otahuhu trying to make some inroads
Stand
here.
for the last. Go.
Richard Holani is into the mix in jersey 15. That's another decent, challenging kick. Taken at the back by Tuise as Otahuhu corral Tuise and put him
Stand
away.
now, one.
Under the tackle of Nuka, who makes the tackle. Quick play the ball.
4.
Ziggy Kamoy
Move.
wrapped up,
2.
28 from his own line. Good defence from the Leopards.
Now
Staying
player.
in the hunt after that early mistake.
Stand now.
And of course, defence is going to win this semi-final, you'd have to think. Who can remain focused in that direction
Play
for
now,
the
4.
entire 80 minutes. Kamoy, just short of the halfway. McCullum comes forward.
Kick it clear.
It's a squirting sort of a kick, deep. It's taken at the back by Geronimo Doyle. Some room to move for him. And he shapes up with
Move
Derek.
now, 1.
Puts him away
here.
35 metres out from his own line. Well, hard to miss this guy, and the Leopards blue and white.
On here.
The pink shorts underneath and pink boots too. That's
Three.
Emiliano Michele from the far side. Darting out as Tofa. That's a good carry for him. Then turned around as Dion Briggs back slams him. Quick play the ball to Fuswanga. And across onto Connor Purcell. Needs a quick play the ball on the 5th and final tackle. That's duly delivered. Down the short side they come. Dropped off back on the inside. Here is a kick
Free
and a
count.
charge down. Chance for Otahuhu to get a full set again. The ball's gone backwards.
got it?
Otahuhu have
Has
it.
he got it?
Brody Clark's got it. He's away now, and the referee is looking for some decision.
Hey.
He finally will
Only
make
go
it.
knock on.
Of
Only
course,
go
with a
knock on,
knock on by Otahuhu. Well, the Leopards are growling.
Hey.
What's your thoughts down
Let's go.
sideline? You're right in front of you, Corey.
Yeah, not too sure what happened there. A bit of a messy play. I actually thought it was play on for a while there, and I certainly think Clark thought it was. But Otahuhu need to stick to this again and quick play the balls, a real focus on trying to play up-tempo footy, and it's having a little bit of success through the middle of the park. So they've got to stick to it, keep getting those quick play the balls and the little shifts through the middle.
Pretty decent crowd in here at the moment, and of course, as you can sense, our cameras are shooting away into the gully on the far side of the field, but it's going to be a neat gathering here through the course of the day.
Arms over.
Yeah, of course, this is the first and only semi-final today, Dale. The rest of the 4 games of on today's schedule are all grand finals. So lots of supporters coming to support their teams on their big day today.
Of course, except the Fox, which is, of course, a semi. But the other 3 are certainly finals, and we're very pleased to be able to bring them to you live streamed. Last week, of course, we had 5 games. I was talking with Greg Firepool, the general manager of Auckland Rugby League. He happened to be last Saturday on a bus between Sydney and Canberra, if you please, Corey, and was able to watch a few games en route.
Yeah, that's right, streaming all around the world, and of course we do have a number of people tuning in from Australia, a lot of expats over there, and famous rugby league names tuning in as well, so kia ora to all those people tuning in from around the world today. Trust you're enjoying the coverage.
Good on you, and of course the last home game for the Warriors tomorrow. We'll talk about that with you through the course of the day, but we'll stay locked into the action at the moment as Ponsonby build themselves towards another opportunity from close range. Here's a kick off Guthrie, punches it into the end goal. It will sit up in the end goal where it's taken on the far side by Michele, and he will be wrapped up in the tackle of Derek, about 10 metres out from his own line. Some of the Otahuhu forwards a bit slow to get back into position. Don't know what we can read into that early on in the day.
14 off. 14 off.
Mr. Matua.
Setavani's Tofa there,
Stand now, 3.
top try scorer for Otahuhu this year. And ironically, the runner-up, the second highest try scorer for Otahuhu this year is Connor Purcell, the front row prop. Devastating inside the 10-metre zone, and that's the goal zone for him. And speaking with John Eklund there, he's just been unstoppable. Once they play the ball inside the 10 metres, it's Connor time and try time as well.
Well, they've got to acknowledge John Eklund's decision to come across and work with Otahuhu. Of course, he is a rugby league man through and through, and just felt that the club celebrated its 100th anniversary back in 2011, that it shouldn't be in the 2nd division with such a proud history. A club that has nurtured 5 New Zealand captains, as we well know, and one of the top performers in the Fox Memorial Championship. Now they're getting a chance to get back there with the help of John Eklund, as we see Otahuhu with the ball. This is Dylan Luate. He's wrapped up 10 metres from the try line. Best chance that the Leopards have had for some time. 23 minutes gone, 1 try in it. Now they're working the ball across. Brodie Clark's got it, sends it on the inside. And big Richard Hulani is only 5 metres from the try line. Great chance and a knock on as he gets up to play the ball. So unforced errors causing big problems for the South Aucklanders. Corey Rosser.
Yeah, that's twice now that Otahuhu have blown ball in good position, so it's going to be a definite work on for them at halftime. Look, they're putting plenty of pressure on Ponsonby, but they're not compounding it by forcing repeat sets or errors from Ponsonby. So definitely an area of concern for them right now, but they're getting through the park all right, Dale.
So 10 metres out, the Ponies will be pleased to survive that. We might get your thoughts too while the Ponies work away from their danger area about the return of names and personalities to the club who really were in difficult times, and last year they were getting whacked by all and sundry. This year much more competitive. Isn't it great to see these guys returning to keep the proud name of the Ponsonby Ponies alive?
Yeah, that's right, and of course over past seasons Ponsonby have really struggled. They were even in the 3rd division a couple of years ago, so great to see them all back here. A number of the boys, of course, Central Auckland locals, and back to do it this year and getting the job done under John Munna.
I heard too, Corey, maybe you know this one as well, Rusty, that it's almost the St Paul's Old Boys team.
Yeah, lots of St Paul's players out there, and secondary schools national champions as well. And again this year as well, the year of class of 2017 has continued their proud decision, and is that a 40-20?
Outside 40.
It's outside the 40, so very close, but still a very good kick there, and putting Otahuhu back into their own 20. A smart kick there from Ponsonby half.
Well, Tommy Guthrie is a New Zealand touch representative, isn't he? A former I'm sure he was a St. Peter's student. That might have been a long time ago. Tom would be, I guess, close to 30. And of course, he's a long-time partner of Sunny Bill's sister Niall.
And with the Bay Roskell Vikings last year, and part of that unfortunately unsuccessful grand final Sharman team last year as well. But certainly been one of the catalysts and dynamos for the Ponsonby team this year. And speaking with their coach, John Munna, been very, very impressed with Tama this year, and certainly believes that he's been a big reason for them getting to the semi-finals today.
Well, it's a tight tussle here in the semi-final of the Sharman, the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup.
Makali again there, been very busy. The left winger coming in and taking a few settles for his forwards and taking a bit of heat off. Him in his pink tights.
14 not square, 14.
Quite prominent out there in neon pink today.
Well, here's a penalty for Otahuhu, the man affectionately dubbed the Tuhoi train, although he does admit to having more iwi connections than just Te Roatuki, is Fred Turuwhenua, a very popular figure at the Otahuhu club, and perhaps his 10th season with the Leopards, maybe even more. So that finds him within the 40-metre line, and a chance really to ram home the advantage gained by field position as Richard Holani takes the ball forward in an uncompromising way. That's followed up with an effort by Nuka. He too is strong. He's not the biggest player, but he's got a great attitude, a big heart.
Early 9.
A player for Malutor, who finds the running Kuea.
Stand now, 3.
And Tamasio to play the ball, close range, and now back on the inside for Big Connor Purcell. In fact, it's Turuwhenua, apologies.
7
Malutor,
early advantage.
Clark.
I'm going to go 5 and last.
Slipping and sliding in front of the posts. Fed up by Doyle, far side into the end goal. A little mistake. Otahuhu have it.
First knock on Ponsonby. First knock on Ponsonby. First knock on Ponsonby in goal. Yep. First knock on Ponsonby in goal. Drop out.
It's underneath the crossbar we go. Your thoughts on that, please, Corey?
First of all, Dale, I think Brodie Clark, I hope he packed the other boots, because it's the second time he slipped over trying to sidestep in sort of good ball territory there, so he's having a little bit of trouble with the footwear, Brodie. But yeah, look, again, Otahuhu, the execution just a little bit off here. Let's see if they can get something out of this, because they had Ponsonby on the back foot there and were able to find a little bit of success. So you feel like they're starting to win the arm wrestle here a little bit.
Pick it up.
Ethan Fariu was unable to take that ball cleanly, and that's the restart. Some pressure on from Ponsonby. An awkward little kick here that has to be watched closely. The big 22 is Vaiafisi. And Felipe to the 20-metre line. A big chance for Otahuhu. Malutor is the acting half. A staggered run here from Holani. Can't get the ball away across the top. There's Ta'aki Moaka. Conrad Ta'aki Moaka is in jersey number 17 and is come on for the Ponsonby Ponies, but they are under the pump. Otahuhu, who have made some uncharacteristic blues at close range, now find themselves in a good opportunity. Here is Fariu. He's pulled down 8 metres short of the line. The wing comes in from the far side. It's on to Clark. Nicely weighted ball for Holani. And that's the 5th and final tackle. What have Otahuhu got here? Bit of room to move. The tap on is clever and offloads down the right side to the line, and the dive for the corner is very good. What a finish. That's a very, very smart finish there for Sinavini Tofa, and Otahuhu rings in the first try, and what a beauty it was as well.
Yeah, and their top try scorer for Otahuhu Leopards there continues his blistering try-scoring form there. And he still had a bit of work to do, and so does prowess in the air. He's quite a big man, could easily be mistaken for a forward. This was, as we look at Tofa's replay here, there's nice work from the right edge for the Otahuhu team here with that flick on. Just a nice little ball getting it right out to Tofa, who extended with a nice little dive in the air. Transferring the ball to his right hand was exactly what you need on the right wing.
Thanks, Paul.
Reaching out to extend. And a great call there from the touch judge. As we look at the replay there, they don't get the benefit of seeing it in slow motion. So a great call from the touch judge. And a duly awarded try there to the Otahuhu Leopards there. Opening their match up for their first scoring opportunity. With a conversion to come. Otahuhu behind now 6 points to 4.
Thanks, Rusty. And just while Geronimo lines this up, it'll be a pretty difficult conversion attempt. But there were a couple of beautiful touches there. The tap-on from Brodie Clark got them underway, quick hands, and everything had to work in spot-on sequence for that try to be scored. And to Otahu's credit, that's exactly what did happen. A beautiful display of close to the line rugby league, and particularly the chain passing through the right corridor, and wrapped up there by the diving conclusion by Taufa. Here we are from wide out. He's hit it pretty nicely, and it was almost there. 6-4 it remains, sideline with Corey Rosser.
Yeah, smart set there from the Leopards. Did a little bit of damage out on the left edge, threw the big boys at them, and then had the presence of mind to come out here. They knew they had an overlap and were quick to get there. So nice work there from John Ackland's side. Really back into this one now. And for me, down the sideline, it really feels like they have wrestled back the momentum. They're in control at this stage.
Well, 6-4, long way to go here in the semi-final. And hats off to this team who have played strong throughout the year. This is Damon Nicol. Will get us underway for the Ponsonby squad. Otahuhu have got a great a crowd in support here. What could be their last game of 2017. One thing about the club, they're certainly stuck fat, even though they've been in the Sharman Cup. They've been turning up in good numbers to watch the games week in and week out. I like the enthusiasm that we're seeing from Emiliano Michaeli, the left wing, for the Leopards.
Two, go. Come on,
One interesting point I remember back at the start of the season when John Ackland took over.
Stand now, 3, turn here, 9.
Was, he met with the lads and said, fellas, I'll see you in February.
17 not there,
Now,
17.
some coaches,
Release them now,
in fact, I'm thinking the previous one too, had them training November through their Christmas breaks into January. It's just too taxing. These guys all got families, and I think John's wanting to work more on their mental approach to footy and their physical at that time of the year, and it seems to pay some dividends. They've been there or thereabouts all year. Clark puts the kick up, the chase is on, still alive, it's still alive. Here's Brodie Clark, he chases it from south off. What a finish. The kid's got something going on, all right. Why wouldn't he with the jeans he carries? Brodie Clark puts the kick up and finishes it off underneath the posts. What a finish to the first half of the Leopards.
Yeah, very smart control play there from Brodie. Kept cool under pressure. Just cozied the ball over there with that little grubber. Continuation kick.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Just enough to get it into the in-goal area, and then grounding that successfully.
Cheers, mate.
Very, very handy angle for the conversion as well. As we look at the replay, young Drew and Tuase from Ponsonby Ponies there, leaving it for his winger, but he didn't want a bar of it. As Brodie Clark there towed it through to the line into the in-goal area, and Julie placed that firmly and squarely in the in-goal area, scoring the second try of the match for the Otahuhu Leopards and putting them into the lead at 8-6 with a very handy conversion to come here. Should take them out to a 10-6 lead.
He's got some skills in his little bag of tricks, has he not, Corey?
Yeah, that's right. Nice little, I guess, fortuitous bounce originally there for the Leopards, but they made the most of it. Nicely finished by Clark, just on John Ackland. Whatever he has been doing in the pre-season, it's been working. Speaking to one of his boys, Dale, now playing over in Queensland, he said he's playing about 70 to 80 minutes in the front row this season, and he puts it down to John Ackland's pre-season.
I think it makes sense as well, Dale. What we are faced with now in the modern league game too is quite a big off-season for our players in a big sport, growing sport of tag. And so trying to organise pre-seasons in December, January, it just doesn't happen. You end up with maybe 6 or 7 players at training, and that's not really a squad, and you don't get the right feeling in regards of a pre-season. So it's a smarter thing, more common sense thing to do is to wait for February, end of February, beginning of March, and that's when you're going to get the numbers and you can actually create that atmosphere where it feels like a pre-season training.
So Ponsonby have conceded the last 2 tries after getting away to a good lead-off. They found themselves in good strike zone at times, but as Corey's mentioned from the side, Otahuhu have tended to dominate field position over the last 6 to 10 minutes. And so they've certainly come back and are now controlling the pace of the game and the field position. So they'll work hard here through the middle. A big carry from Vaiafisi once again. He's a player of genuine size here. And then important that the Leopards get to a decent kick off the back. But Brodie Clark at the moment is really having a telling influence on the game. He's working hard, as we know these halfbacks can. Very demanding, challenging. That's a high ball and difficult to keep an eye on. Skillfully taken, as it turns out, by Otahuhu.
Stand now one.
And he will play the ball midway 20 and 30, his own end of the ground, as Kamui comes in and delivers up to Tuese.
Stand now two.
Yeah, Savi Hafoka from Ponsonby there, usually their left winger, but with the injuries they've had to rearrange the side slightly this week. Another tough game for them last week against Otara. Otara was one of the high flyers this year, very, very strong side, and it took its toll on the Ponsonby Ponies. And Savi there is showing his skills under the high ball. You expect all your wingers to be able to take those high balls, so a very, very competent take from what is the left centre today in Savi Hafoka.
Auburn Derek with a quick play the ball, and now it's Neville Tucker into space. Look at the step too. He straightens where he's wrapped up at the back by Doyle. And that was the fifth and final tackle. I'm pretty sure he was unaware of that fact. Otherwise, he would have tried to do more with it.
Yeah, very, very experienced player too. I just think he was aware of the tackle count at that time.
Well, he found himself in space too. And, you know, you get that rush of blood when you're out there, if you're not used to it.
Yeah, the peripheral disappears as you go into the tunnel.
I've been impressed with the effort and the willingness to get involved by Michele. That's him with the football.
Got anything, boys?
Perhaps it's the
Nothing.
The pink accessories. Just you get a glimpse at them more perhaps than other players.
Touching you. Stand up and play the ball.
So you can hear
Move!
Aaron Keisha in the background, working hard with the players to inform them of his expectations. The Leopards probing at the moment. The Ponsonby Ponies just trying to shore up their defence and keep the Leopards down their end of the field. Rushing up is Derek. The ball's been played on. Back to Derek it comes. A bit of space for Auburn Derek. He's on his own, and three Leopards gas him down. Put him away, 12 out from the line. They're on top of him. They let him up now. Here's Nultai. Quick play the ball. Half pick up volley. Guthrie inside. Guthrie for Tucker. Tucker's close to the line. Tucker's over. Tucker is over beside the posts. Will be squared up here. In fact, it'll be a 2-point lead. I'm getting the feeling going into the break, which is only 2.5 minutes away.
Okay.
And a great conclusion to the first half for the Ponies.
Yeah, it does. See on there, Nilval Tucker there, very, very quality player, very much a quality player there, showing his strength and his awareness as well to see where the line was. As we just have a look at the replay there, that little grubber, that little chip over the top there, deflected with a little charge down, and it's nice continuation from the Ponsonby Ponies as Derek takes the ball forward there, Auburn Derek, and then he gets to his feet there after a very laboured tackle there from the Otahuhu Leopards. And this pass goes to ground as well, but they pick it up. And Shioni Nilval Tucker there coming back in and scoring that try right next to the right-hand upright. Very handy conversion angle here for Damon Neko. With the scores tied up at 10-all, we should see all Ponsonby. You'd expect them to go ahead 12-10 with only minutes to the break. A very, very timely try for the Ponsonby Ponies.
And while he's taking a kick there, I know you haven't got a replay screen in front of you. We are watching the replay at our end, Corey, but momentum was with Otahuhu. Credit to Ponsonby to force an opportunity here late in the half, and they get dividends for their solid approach over the last few minutes. And a very timely try to Tucker right next to the post.
Yeah, that's right. Very timely try for Ponsonby, as you mentioned, but we wrapped Brodie Clark's play a couple of minutes ago. On that occasion, it just wasn't the play. A little chip and chase on halfway there, and unfortunately, it cost his team 6 points.
Well, you're watching live stream action from semi-finals in the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup today. Dale Husband with Rusty Matua and Corey Ross are calling you the action. Wherever you're watching, thank you for your interest today. We'll take a break at half-time. And the lead here, just by 2, the Ponsonby Ponies 12, Otahuhu Leopards 10. We will be back for the start of the second half, not too far away. Great to have your company here.
10 minutes. Okay.
You don't know me. You've never seen me play. You don't know my name. You don't even know how to pronounce my name. I'm not a big star. You may think I'm a nobody, but nobody trains harder. Nobody wants it more. Nobody will surprise you. Nobody's tougher. Nobody. And come this October, who you don't know can hurt you.
Yeah. Getting there. It's up.
Welcome back to our live stream coverage of the semi-final of the Sharman Cup. The winner to play the Vikings in next week's final from Mount Smart number 2. And it's great to have your company. 2 tries apiece, 12-10 the scoreline. It's the Ponsonby Ponies who lead here as we go to the turnaround. Our venue, the Trust Stadium in Auckland's West. And it's in wonderful condition, albeit a little bit brisky and a little bit brisk. And a bit of rain is threatening, but we're hoping it won't eventuate through the course of the day. A bit of a wind as well will be an issue, but an entertaining first half of rugby league. No doubt of that. We will hear from Corey Rosser very shortly, who had his ears around the huddles of both teams. But we'll wait for a moment as we get underway. Ponsonby with a late try to Tucker and a converted try close to the post for the 12-10 lead as Tudefenua takes the ball back. And he runs it through to midway, 20 and 30. The Leopards needing to just control the football and display the range of skills we know that they are capable of, as Sean Motumure takes it to the halfway line. It's anyone's game at this stage as Ethan Nuka carts forward and will be wrapped up 35 metres from his own line. So a good set for Otahuhu, making good inroads into the Ponsonby defence. Richard Haloni with another good carry as well. Let's just stick with them and see if something eventuates off the back end of the set. Clark with the kick into the end goal. Very nearly coming up dividends. Well, we will come to you now, Corey, because I noticed you were having a little bit of a stiff around down there. What did you hear?
Yeah, the message from Otahuhu Leopards coach John Ackland, keep going with the high ball. We found a bit of success there. Let's make sure our chase is good as well. Really made an effort of talking about the training they did in the preseason and leaning on that. And for Ponsonby, it's all about slowing down the play of the ball. They feel like the Leopards were able to get a bit of a run on them there, so getting into the wrestle, slowing the play of the ball down and getting that line set again.
Thank you, Corey. And to Rusty Matu is with me in the commentary position. Rusty, feels like it's anyone's game here, so it's going to be very important this opening 10-15 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, the score is very reflective of these sides being very evenly matched today, and a reflection of the work that they've put in this year as well. Both sides toiling away very much so this in this game. As Freddie Tudefenua takes the ball forward, very hard one to pick. It could go anyway.
Yep, you're good, mate.
So Otahuhu who have the ball now is Nuka gets it jarred loose actually and into the hands of Malutoa, but it's deemed to have been a knock on. The Ponsonby supporters are pretty happy with the decision. And the Ponies will get the scrum feed on the 20-metre line, I'm getting the feeling.
Yeah, Otahuhu there with a good opening stanza. They've both sets they've managed to come out of their half very quickly and get up inside the Ponsonby Ponies territory and put pressure on them. But Nuka there just unable to hold on to the ball on contact there. Ponsonby dislodging the ball loose and regaining possession now with a scrum on their own 20.
Otama Guthrie to feed the scrum for Ponsonby. Working away from their 20 metres. Clark is in there with enthusiasm on defence and will need to be as well. Queer also, the second rower, working hard. The players realising that they need to inspire each other as Malutoa gets into the defensive work too. That's him working from second marker and another tackle to his name. Ably assisted as well by Richard Holani. Down the left edge go the Ponies and feeding on the far side of the field. Nice run as the spinning effort here of Ziki Kamoy finds him now midway between the 40 and 50. Leopards end of the ground. This is Derek. Centre field and 40. Kick from Nutai into the end goal. Will it sit up for them? In fact, it will. Slightly awkward. The run down the left edge. His ball is lost. Ponsonby scramble, but so do Otahuhu. So the knock on here from the Leopards finds the Ponsonby Ponies well within range. They'll get a scrum feed 10 metres out from the Leopards line.
Yeah, great shot there from Damon Nico on the winger for Otahuhu there, young Mikaeli, coming out of his in-goal area, just managing to pick that ball up in time and get out of his in-goal area. He actually stood on the line but was not seen. And then Damon Nico there with a little shot, dislodging the ball there and giving Ponsonby great field position here for the scrum.
So 10 metres out, and really it's
When you're ready.
the architects of their own demise, if that is to be the case too, because they've made a number of errors in their own 20. I'm talking about the Leopards that the Ponsonby Ponies have been able to capitalise on. This is Sione Taka,
Stand now, two.
wrapped up in the tackle to the Whenua, 8 metres from the try line. Nutai, Guthrie, beautiful ball for Nico. Sharpest attack. And the Ponies are in to score early in the second half.
Yeah, Nico there, starting that off with a nice hit to get the possession back for his side, and then finishing off with a beautiful work try off the pass of Guthrie there on the right edge there, running in centre, running into a beautiful hole. Nice little face ball there from Guthrie there, selecting the correct runner as we watch the replay here. There's Guthrie there, just a face ball there in front of his second row to pick up his centre, running into a beautiful hole. And Damon Nico there scoring the opening try of the second half and extending Ponsonby's lead over Otahuhu, 16 points to 10.
Sideline with you, Corey. It was right in front of you, but they really earned that try, didn't they? They hustled, forced an error, and then took advantage of the field position that created.
Yeah, that's right. It was a great kick chase from them, a little fortuitous with the bounce, obviously, and what occurred afterwards. But similar to how they started the first half for Ponsonby, lots of energy, good line speed, so it's a really positive start for them. John Munner will be happy with the way they've started the second half.
Well, plenty of cordial going on in the background too for the Leopards. The number 2, Michaele, disappointed that he was not able to keep them at bay, and now Nico will get the opportunity to convert his own try. He's a big centre.
Been playing second row most of the year as Damon Nico, but again with the injuries suffered in last week's win over Otara, they moved that to into the rearranged back line. But still a very able centre is Damon Nico.
That one hits literally the top of the upright, but to Ponsonby's credit, manages to go in and secure the 2 points. It's 18 to 10, the scoreline.
Yeah, very important kick as well that puts the pressure now on the Otahuhu Leopards, who are forced to score at least 2 tries. You can take the lead now back in the match. And smart execution from Ponsonby Ponies and a great start to the second half.
Stay behind the ball.
Excuse some of that wind noise in the background. The wind is a bit of an issue at the moment, perhaps more so in the stands than out on the track. At the moment, it's the least of the Leopards' worries. They need possession, they need field position, and they need a whole lot of stoic defence at the moment. Their defensive line a bit like Swiss cheese with a whole lot of holes in it. 25 out, Nico's having a whale of a time also, and to the Whenua is upstairs to halt his progress this time. Downstairs as well, far to you. So a couple of these Otahuhu players will just have to lift their intensity, their energy and enthusiasm levels. They've plateaued somewhat, and somebody needs to provide a spark that will inspire. At the moment, Ponsonby making me to inject will.
15 offside.
And here is a kick deep. Geronimo Doyle takes it skillfully, as it turns out. Wind up time for Michaele.
No.
Wrapped up midway, 20 or 30.
On here.
Some of the Leopards forwards moving at snail's pace at the moment.
Stand out 2, make it 7.
Very clustered, looking to earn the right to be expansive with the football, and at the moment the Ponsonby with a smarter game plan. They're really in control of this game as Whenua tries to do something about that.
They certainly are in control. They're defending really well at the moment as well. Although Otahuhu is obviously throwing everything they can into this game, Ponsonby's playing a control game at the moment, and obviously putting Otahuhu under pressure and forcing them to play catch-up football. And there we see a result of that with that kick going out on the full. And this is unfortunate for Otahuhu, but this is what happens when you get put under pressure. You need to be able to perform under pressure to be a champion team. And at the moment, Ponsonby is certainly in control.
Well, let's go to you, Corey, because obviously Clark misread the wind there, and it was at his benefit, or seemed to benefit him in the first half. The second one's a little more challenging.
Get your foot to the
Yes,
ball.
landed squarely in lane 2 down here on the running track, Dale. But yeah, look, a poor end to the set there. They look a little bit shaken up right now, do the Leopards, so they need to regain a little bit of composure as we see a big shot down low there. They need a big defensive set here, get a little bit of confidence back.
So now Ponsonby going another arm and leg at the moment, full of running, full of enthusiasm, darting left, right and centre. Wiremu Takere is providing some good spark, and that pass as an example as he tries to pick up Hafuka, but it just drifted forward slightly, and whilst he got a hand to it, Hafuka, the damage done on the 30-metre line. The Leopards will get the scrum feed, and a timely scrum feed as well, as you detected their supporters have come across in great numbers from the Otahuhu Rohe. A little subdued here in the stands of Trust Stadium in Auckland's West.
Yeah, the Ponsonby left half there, Takare, just throwing his hands in the air in despair there. He knew he had an opportunity on his left edge, overlap, but that pass there was unable to find its target in their centre. Sabi Hafuka.
Go, 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 go.
Well, what's an ominous sign is the warming up on the sideline of two of the big men. Nuibel Taku scored just before the half-time break. Dion Briggs awaiting their opportunities to get back on the track as the Leopards have control of the football, but at the moment, a little lack of control of ideas. Back to Clark, isolated, forced to take a tackle himself. He wasn't quite sure if he's going to go right or left. Geronimo Doyle pushes the pass out to the right-hand side. This is looking a little bit better for the Leopards as the big number 11, Kuea.
Not played it. Not played it.
Takes it down the right side, so not played it. You can hear Aaron Kisha in the background. The scrum feed for Ponsonby and a bit of a nothing end to the set.
Yeah, well, I feel sorry for Brody Clark and his halves there. Well, what was wrong there is that we didn't see any shape from the Otahuhu backline in particular. They were far too flat. And I sort of felt for Brody in particular there when he caught the ball, had a look at his backline. Everybody was up flat, nothing really on from him, and forced to take the ball back inside. And just a real fizzled into the set there. A bad end to the set for the Otahuhu Leopards.
Well, let's see how they go in defence here, because Ponsonby are full of running and attitude at the moment. And you just feel like the Otahuhu Leopards a little bit down on confidence, but that confidence can be restored with a solid set here, and the early stages of the set pretty handy from the Southsiders' perspective. This will be tackle number 3 as well, and yet to make it to the 30, so pretty handy as Nu'uvalu looks out the left-hand side. They've had some success through that left corridor, and another challenging run from the Ponies on the far side of the field. To the 40-metre line they go. They'll stay and stick to their knitting down the left side and flicking the ball on the far side of the field. The 5th and final tackle. Good inroads, good meterage as well made here by Ponsonby. Wide they come, expansive with numbers. Guthrie is there, KG getting a kick into the end goal, making Michaela turn. It'll sit up in the end goal. Doyle is there, one-handed pick up from Doyle. Well, look, under desperate circumstances, the fullback gets hold of the football, but they're still in trouble as Ethan Fardiu can't advance it past the 8 metres. What a pick up there from Geronimo Doyle. And Emiliano perhaps. Mikhail has struggled, as I did with that pronunciation. So do the Leopards with controlling the football. And Richard Alani loses the football. Let's go to you, please, Corey. Sideline.
Yeah, they did all the hard work there, did the Leopards, and unfortunately then coming out of yardage they come up with the error. So a big mistake there from the Leopards, which is going to put on a lot of pressure.
We just had another little look at Geronimo's efforts at the back, and really skillfully done, but of course to no avail, because a couple of tackles later and immediately the Leopards find themselves under the pump and under pressure as Tama Guthrie feeds from 10 metres out. Now they're spread left and right. From the back comes McCullum onto this man who's caused no end of problems today, Damon Nichol. He's wrapped up 11 from the line. To his feet, they can ill afford to concede a try here, the Leopards. That would make life very tough for them as Daniel Bell is flung to ground. He'll play it 7 metres from the line. McCullum is quick. Here is Briggs. Here is Briggs. He's towards the line, Dion Briggs.
Release him!
And repelled at the last moment. A solid effort. Almost disrobed as well. The Leopards, understandably keen to get up on defence. Out to the right-hand side. Nuvo, Guthrie, cut-out ball. Nico.
Forward pass.
The forward pass is the call here.
Otahuhu dodge a bullet there on that set, and they can see them sucking in the big ones right now. Have to do back-to-back defensive sets there, but that pass from Ponsonby there going astray, drifting forward. Damon Nico unable to bring in that pass as it floated out to the winger and floated forward as well. So Otahuhu now with an opportunity to come out of their half and certainly dodge the bullet after back-to-back defensive sets against the Ponsonby Ponies.
Quarter of an hour into the second half, the one try scored by Nico. Just 4 minutes into the second half. Converted 2 for 18-10. It's a good lead here in a semi-final. Replacements are plenty from both sides. Connor Purcell makes his way onto the field. The big number 17, the starting prop, Penny Pepper, also is there.
You were never marker. You were never there. You were never square. I called you.
You hear the reference to the penalty by referee Keisha.
Yeah, Aaron Nuotai there as a offside. Giving away their penalty, and
Thanks, Hayden.
a sigh of relief there to the Otahuhu Leopards as they're given a back-to-back set now.
Connor Purcell gets his hands on the ball, has an immediate impact. Nuka with the carry, but it's a solo run and easily accounted for by a Ponsonby defence that were anticipating the solo effort. Down the right side they come. Penny Pepper with the football.
Release him now!
He's pulled down only 15 metres from the try line. Some more encouraging signs as Va'afusuanga has had precious little opportunity. He gets the football and delivers up. The Leopards now 6 metres from the line as the halfback plays it across. Here is Clark. The cut-out ball. Searching. And out to Fariu. To their credit, Ponsonby get up on him, and Damon Nico lifts him and carts him away like a sack of spuds. Out the back, Doyle, kick into the end goal, poor.
Tell that trainer to stop walking up and down the sideline. We're going out the fence.
Yeah, Aaron Keisha there, and giving some advice to the Ponsonby trainer. He's not allowed to walk up and down and organise defence for his team. But a poor into the set for Otahuhu there as Geronimo took it upon himself to put a kick into the in goal area, which is far too heavy, and giving possession back to the Ponsonby Ponies. And his halves would have loved to have got their hands on the ball there with the back line, especially out to the right-hand side in numbers with good shape on the right edge. Opportunity goes begging for the Otahuhu Leopards on that occasion.
Ben McCullum with the footy now, and he's just short of the halfway. Ponsonby. A forceful run. Trying to make inroads. It's the fifth and final tackle. The kick important. Guthrie with another tester.
Give him 10.
Michaela this time steady under the high ball. And there was some pressure because the chase was right in his face. The chaser there, Leroy Muller. The right wing for Ponsonby. Putting it on Michaela. Otahuhu.
Stand now! Keep
Almost to the halfway line.
Go. Move now!
Silvini Tofa to play the ball as Connor Purcell. Well, he's been one of the best in the Leopard strip this year and continues to impress with his attitude. Motu Muave getting the kick deep. Pressure on at the back, climbing high Ponsonby. Otahuhu there in the chase. Just outside their own line, the Ponsonbys have it. A period of consolidation for them as they work their way away from the danger zone. Otahuhu, on the other hand, well, they're just keen to get up there and make an impact. Benjamin Benedict making the tackle. Some cramp at the moment, it would seem. It's
Bring the
Benedict,
ball in.
13,
Bring the ball
also
in.
assisting him, Nuka.
He knew
Take the
something was
ball
wrong.
off
As soon
and
as he
bring it
caught the
in.
ball there, he just basically just stopped and dropped to his knees.
Tackle
Wasn't able to
three.
run at all.
Go.
And it is Cramp who'll get some running repairs done, assisted as well by the trainer,
Go.
who at this stage
Take the
appears to be
ball.
allowed on. One of the pet hates of Neville Kesha.
That's all it is. It's just a height.
That was too high, he said.
Back here.
Yeah, Connor Purcell there, just a little bit lazy, coming over the top, giving away a penalty after a very good period of play there from Otahuhu there. That was good into their previous set there. And there was a solid set of defence that they were actually executing there and keeping them inside, keeping Ponsonby inside their 20, forcing good good field position, putting Ponsonby's under real pressure, and then just giving away their penalty there and easing the pressure now on Ponsonby Ponies. Take the kick downfield and extra 25 metres now inside the Otahuhu Leopards. So a poor end to a really good initial set from Otahuhu on that occasion.
Well, Corey, it appears that Ponsonby have been weathering the storm well here and seem in control of the pace and the field position for most of the second half. It's been a strong performance from them, and Otahuhu really have some work in front of them to upset the rhythm that the Ponies are displaying.
That's right, very similar to the first half, Dale, where we saw Ponsonby start well. The Leopards having a little bit of a resurgence right now. If they can stick to what they're doing right now, I feel like they're going to get some results. Again, they're getting that speed of play up, so they are kind of coming back into this one, the Leopards. They need a big defensive set here.
18-10. Ponsonby, are they heading to the Vikings showdown next week in the final of the Sharman Cup? Time will tell, but we're into the last quarter of the action here. Game 1 of 5 coming your way live streamed from West Auckland. Michaele gets hold of the football, he's away from one, swerving, but he can't get away from the next wave of Ponsonby defenders who come across to shut the young winger down, including McCullum, who wraps him up on the 20-metre line. Ethan Faliu tries his hand and makes just 4 or 5 metres before he's closed down as well. Midway 20 and 30. Who will provide the spark? Will it be Penny Pepper? He's got the ball now. But Afusuanga slides into the acting half roll. His eyes are darting around as he looks at opportunities. One out running won't get them home today. It's got to be cohesion and concerted effort. And at the moment, at 6s and 7s, speaking of 7s, is Brody Clark. Took a bit of a knock as he went to ground then. And you fear for a knee as he fell awkwardly then. Well, nothing seems to be happening really at the moment, Corey. We'll go to you sideline too, because you're close to the action. It just feels as though Ponsonby have a bit more enthusiasm for the job at hand today.
Yeah, that's right. They're doing everything just that little bit better right now. Their kick chase, their line speed's really good. They've improved their work in the ruck as well, slowing things down a little bit. But look, you feel like the Leopards have got enough strike. If they can click, there's points in this team.
Geronimo Doyle sends the ball deep into enemy territory, where it's pushed back into the hands of Andrew Tuise. He's away from 1, away from 2. Skillful stepping and evasive skills on show.
And go.
Ponsonby shut down on the far side as Nuka makes the tackle. 18 to play here in the Sharman Cup semi.
18 not there. Too deep, mate. You're too deep.
Nico has been problematic for the defenders. That ball's gone to ground. So here perhaps the chance that Otahuhu have been needing.
Yeah.
They'll get the scrum feed and the football 5 short of the halfway line.
Yeah, Leroy Miller, the right wing for Ponsonby. They're just guilty of having a look at the opposition there and not securing the ball before he went forward. And Otahuhu now got a good field position here for their scrum.
Yeah.
And as Corey already mentioned, that they are actually playing a okay brand of football at the moment. They've got to quick play the ball or getting a bit of a roll on, but they need to convert and that into points, and they need to do it very quickly if they have any chance of coming back in this match.
There's Geronimo.
Stand that one.
Looking for runners now, and the one out running, as mentioned, I don't think we'll get this team home. But it could be a settler as they look for Dylan Uate. Perhaps he can make some inroads. seemingly not, as the Ponsonby defenders close ranks on him. The man most likely to inspire is Purcell. That's him on the 20.
Otahuhu now in good field position here.
He's got an 18 in there. Well, despite our best efforts, friends, apologies if there's some confusion. We asked to be very accurate with jersey allocation.
Play now. Here it is here. 1, go.
Ponsonby now hot on attack. After that failed effort from Otahuhu Leopards now.
Corey, if you'd be kind enough to wander along, if you've got a moment, to just check 18 for us, please, for Otahuhu. Not quite sure who that might be, but thank you. Coming up towards quarter of an hour to play, so some desperate times now, starting for the Southsiders, as this kick is inside the 40 and allowed to go into touch. A 40-20.
Yeah, and that could prove to be a crucial moment in the game there. A beautiful 40-20 there from Guthrie. Putting Ponsonby in beautiful field position here with the scrum feed on the 10-metre line. A beautifully weighted kick, beautifully measured.
Yeah, it was, mate.
And that could prove to be a crucial moment and a turning point in this match.
Indeed, it was perfectly weighted. Because I'm pretty sure that Mikaele wasn't sure that it was inside the 40, but referee Keisha made that call early. You might have expected a little more desperation, although, to be honest, I don't think there was much that he could do about that anyway. It was pinpoint accuracy right on the money. Let's stay with Ponsonby. Can they take advantage of the opportunity that they have created for themselves as Hafuka is wrapped up 10 metres out from the try line? Now the questions being asked of the Leopards defence as McCullum tries to skirt around the backside, but is wrapped up. Dion Briggs gets hold of the ball, first receiver, and a settler from Big Dion. He is 5 metres from the try line. Great to have your company here. As you can sense, it's becoming desperate times. Out to Guthrie, he's had a strong hand, playing wonderful football at the moment, stepping back into traffic and finding it's one of those motorway snarls so common on Auckland's transport system. Wide they go as Ponsonby look to try and find a way through on the far side. It's Tahaki Moiaka. He's wrapped up 8 from the try line. Back to the number 9. It's Aaron Nutai. He'll go with the crossfield kick. There is a runner there. Mikaele gets hold of the ball. He'll run now where he is lined up for a defensive effort by Damon Nicol.
Mikaele has had a great game today. Very busy wingers. He's got to be close to the most hit-ups today for Otahuhu as well. And it's just been a great work rate from the left wing in Otahuhu today.
Dylan Uate with the football. 42 from the line. You found out the 18, Corey?
Yeah, Dale, it's Thomas Vausanger. He ripped his shirt earlier in the match, so he's had to put on the number 18.
Thank you. Well, that will explain that then. Kapai. Down the left edge, Otahuhu, desperate times as Uate tries to create something out. Vafusuanga now.
Early 13.
Onto the 1, and I find there might have been more of an opportunity into the corner.
He's gone, he's injured.
And that player is gone too, as we saw as he came towards the defensive line. Hafuka is in trouble and will need to be replaced. Whether it's a cramp, it does look as though it is a cramp. The trainer is coming on. He'll be replaced by Auburn Derrick. Gets another stint. Credit here where it is due. The Ponsonby Ponies have controlled the second half. They've got their eye on the prize. Look at this kick. Down, down and out. What a kick.
And he's done it again there. Guthrie there with a beautiful 40-20.
2 in 5 minutes.
And again, beautifully measured. Both sides of the field there. It's a very consummate kicking performance there. And great execution from Guthrie. Again, A wonderful, wonderful opportunity for the Ponsonby Ponies. Well inside good ball territory with a set of 6 now with that scrum. And just an amazing kick there on both sides of the field there with that second 40-20.
Thank you, mate.
Remarkable efforts, but of course reading the
Where's your
wind
halfback?
brilliantly.
Where's your halfback? Relax, boys, relax. Relax. Nice and tight. Okay.
Aaron Keisha asking where the halfback is.
Out.
He's getting some running repairs on the sideline. Now Otahuhu, if they can see the try here, it's curtains for them. They're already down by 8, and so they've got to battle back with 2 efforts, 2 scoring efforts. But they really need to stay in the grind, and at the moment they're under the pump as Ben McCullum tries to catch the napping. Leroy Muller goes to dummy half. A little spinning effort towards the line. That ball's been dropped. Tanela Kaba has lost the ball. That's right in front of you, Corey. Your thoughts?
Yeah, good chance there for the Ponies to strike a killer blow. Missed it on that occasion, but the job just got a whole lot harder for the Leopards. They've lost Brodie Clark. He's off the field suffering from bad cramps. He's in a whole lot of discomfort on the sideline. So if they're going to get it done, it looks like they're going to have to do it without their halfback.
Okay. Well, he's still hopeful to get back into their action, I see.
Let's go, Ponsonby.
Brodie Clark, and they might need him. They need some spark, and at the moment, they are failing to ignite.
Go. Go.
So Otahuhu have the ball. And they've got a long-range try in them. You get the feeling not. But they're going to be expansive and ambitious. Why not? This could be the last 10 minutes of their year. Just outside the 30. One more try would give them a spark to wrap up the game as we go into the last 10 minutes of action here. Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup major semi-final. Holani takes it to the halfway line. Queer manages to get the ball away. A backdoor squeeze. High tackle, unchecked. Call from the touch judge. This will benefit the Otahuhu cause.
And they certainly need to score next if they're to have any chance, Dale. And you'd have to say that if they do, that's got to be within the next 2 sets. To give them a chance of coming back and taking victory.
Well, here is a chance as Dylan Uate takes it towards the line. Into dummy half position. Va'afusuanga on the corner Purcell. And I think Purcell's there. He's up. He's satisfied. The Leopards are back.
And there he is, man. We said that he's the second highest try scorer in Otahuhu, and that's his zone, the gold zone there. 16th, 17th try for young Connor Purcell this year.
Thanks, mate.
And that's his money ball. Inside the 10-metre zone, close to the try line.
Yeah, thanks,
and
mate.
once again, he duly converts. A perfect play the ball. Placement for Connor coming in there and powering his way over there in the tackles of the Ponsonby Ponies to give Otahuhu a fighting chance as we're inside the last 10 minutes now.
No,
This conversion here in a very, very handy angle.
over here. Sorry, mate. Yeah,
There it is. Connor Purcell, your try scorer, will come down to you. Now, actually, Corey, while Geronimo's taking the kick, maybe you could call that in for us.
So if he gets this.
That's right, Connor Purcell, he cops a little bit for being a big bully of a thing, but he's got plenty of skill. I saw him in action in a nine-a-side game earlier this year, and he's got a little bit of footwork, can promote second phase, so he's a really skillful player here as
Here he comes.
Doyle steps in and puts the kick over. So we've got a game on our hands here, Dale. Leopards with a little bit of momentum now. I think Clark about to come back into the frame as well.
Thank you, Corey. 18-16 in the grand final. I'm sorry, the semi-final. But to the losing team, it will be their grand final for the year. So there's a lot in it. It took them a long time to get back into this game because Ponsonby really controlled the first 30 minutes of that second half. Some running repairs here on the number 3 half hooker.
Ponsonby in no hurry to resume with the kickoff as we come into the last 7 minutes of the match. 2 points in it, and their season for the 2017 comes down to this with a 2-point margin. Again, Dale, Otahuhu have given themselves an opportunity and a chance to come back and snatch the victory from the jaws of defeat. The question is now, can they do it?
Well, here is Holani, says, well, I'll take it up first, and that's a powerful run and issuing a powerful challenge as well as Queer follows up with another cart that takes them within 15 metres of the halfway line. He's to his feet now, out to the back row, Benjamin Benedict. Perhaps needed a little bit more on that third play of the set. Darting away, Ba'afusuanga, he'll find himself almost in space. Wrapped up by Derek. Orban Derek, my apologies. To Purcell. The direct route for him. They're looking down the left side. Here's a kick. A chase is very important. Otahuhu coming at it. It's gone backwards. Who's come up with the football? It's a bit of a lolly scramble. What way will referee Keisha read this? It's a knock on by the Ponsonby Ponies. Otahuhu get the scrum feed.
Yeah, you did well, Hayden. Over here.
10 metres out from the try line, a great opportunity for the Southsiders.
Absolutely there. Crucial mistake by Ponsonby there, but that was due to the pressure put on by the Otahuhu defence there. Beautiful kick chase. And they've come up with the goods here with the scrum penalty. Scrum now on the 10-metre line. And young Muller there unable to take that ball after climbing high above the Otahuhu attackers coming in here.
Last man in.
And now Ponsonby now duly under pressure. But the clock ticks away. And Otahuhu in fine attacking position.
Otahuhu with the ball. Geronimo Doyle on the far side. He's away from one, but he can't get away from the next wave of defence. 10 metres out from the try line. This is desperate times. 5 minutes to full time. Sedeveni Tofa takes it to within 6 metres of the try line. Where are Otahuhu's big men? Here they come through the middle. I'm not sure that he's got that football down. It's got a try, we hear, and Otahuhu are credited with it.
Congratulations to the Leopards there. Successful going across. Referee Aaron Kesher awarding their try there on the advice of its touch judge.
He never died in the tackle. Never died in the tackle.
Great, we're just looking for the try scorer here.
Richard Holani is the ball carrier.
Richard Holani there credited with the vital 4-pointer for Otahuhu there to give them the lead in the match as we closed in on the last 4 minutes.
Thanks a lot, Paul. You've been a godsend, mate.
And could that be enough? Could that be the try that takes them through to the grand final, Dale?
Well, it's desperate times too, because the clock is now the enemy. We saw the ball get there. Aaron Kesher was well sighted, and he was adamant that that try had been scored. So Otahuhu have scrambled and plucked victory out of the eyes of Ponsonby, who were looking at next week's grand final. Well, isn't the fickle nature of sport on display yet again? They had dominated almost all of the second 40. And the number 15, Richard Holani, with a powerful surge close to the line, deserving of the try.
That's good.
As the icing is added to the cake too by Geronimo Doyle.
Okay, better 4 minutes to go, boys.
22-18. You heard the referee in the background. 4-2 play. And Ponsonby need the ball, and they need it quick, smart. Sideline with you, Corey.
Yes, such a massive change over this last 5 minutes. The Leopards getting on a run, but there's a little bit more drama left in this one. I think, Dale, a mistake here is going to be crucial, and then to get through their set, the Leopards, and then for Ponsonby, it's all about energy. What have they got? How bad do they want it?
Well, Damon Nichol with the responsibility. He's had a wonderful game today, Damon. A second rower, now centre. He kicks it deep, which surprises me somewhat, but I'll be hoping that they get another opportunity with ball in hand as Connor Purcell comes back like the Sharman tank, the reputation that he has developed through 2017. Doyle, just steady hand needed here, controlling the set, and a decent kick and chase needed for the Leopards to go up against the Vikings again. Another time in 2017, they've had a ding-dong battle this year. 30 metres out, and slow to get to his feet. A little bit of gamesmanship on display.
Move now, forward!
To the 40, Otahuhu.
Go!
Down the right side, they come, and just a steady hand at this stage, which is understandable, Rusty.
It certainly is. You can see they've measured their game. They're slowing it down, controlling it just to eat up as many seconds as they can.
It's gone dead.
No, Ponsonby now with the tap on the 20.
Ponsonby to come back.
This could be their last set with the ball. So Otahuhu now need to bring their biggest set of defence in the whole match to defend their opportunity to go through and face Bay Roskill in the Sharman Cup Grand Final next Saturday.
So now the Ponies, they know too how desperate their time has been. It's been an awesome year for them. Can they make it even better with a last-minute raid to get themselves home here in the semi-final? The first of 5 big games coming to you from Auckland Rugby League today, live streamed across the globe. This is a terrific carry across into the Leopards half. Ben McCullum darts forward, makes 10, make that 15. A good run from McCullum, the back rower. He's on the 30-metre line. Last roll of the dice as we come down to the last minute. Chip over the top from Guthrie. Finds Benedict, and Benedict's got a runner beside him. And Nikor grabs hold of the runner, and never in a position. How the touch judges allowed that one to go, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. Otahu have the ball. Geronimo Doyle with it, stepping back on the inside. He shuts it down. He's in no hurry to get up and play it. And why would he be? There's 40 seconds to play. Just 18 to 22. Otahu in ascendancy here. The semi-final has been tough. 12-10 to Ponsonby at the half-time break. 18-10 soon after, but 2 late tries to Purcell and Holani find the Otahuhu Leopards with the 22-18 lead as we count it down to full time. Here's the man who scored the last try, Holani.
5 and last.
5th and final tackle now for the Leopards. Slow to play the ball. Out it comes to Doyle. Checks it up where it's taken on the far side, looking for a chip over the top. One last play, and that play will be to kick the ball into touch. Otahuhu are heading to the Sharman Cup final. The curtain comes down for the Ponsonby Ponies. They worked so hard through 2017, but their season is done, and it will be the Leopards who will challenge for the Sharman Cup.
Congratulations to John Ackland and the Otahuhu Leopards. They've got themselves an invitation to the big show next week in the showdown with the Bay Roskill Vikings for the Sharman Cup 2017 Grand Final. Commiserations to the Ponsonby Ponies on a fine season. John Munner and the boys there were just unlucky in that last 10 minutes not to hold on. But credit where credit's due, and congratulations to the Otahuhu Leopards.
Yes, they do deserve congratulations. We'll be hearing from representatives of the Leopards in a moment. But it has been a very tough season for John Ackland. The work is still to be done, of course, but a 22-18 result here in the first of our games being live streamed. Thank you for joining us. We see the images here, the two teams coming together, good sportsmanship on display, and some strong performances from both squads. Very impressed today with the work of Tama Guthrie. 2 40-20s almost got them home, and he had a wonderful game out there. My standouts for the Ponsonby Ponies, the number 4, Damon Nico, I thought was exceptional today.
Tama Guthrie as well with his 40-20s. In his passing game, very, very strong game from Tama Guthrie and Damon Nico in particular today.
And some scrambling efforts late in the game as well. But Connor Purcell, what an impact he had. He was left off the field by Coach Ackland for some lengthy periods. But in the end, he was introduced at the right time. And when a try was needed from close range, the big man was able to provide that. That was 9 minutes to play. And of course, that sparked the squad and got them home really as Holani emulated Purcell's efforts 5 minutes later to cross in the 76th minute. 22-18, it's the Otahuhu Leopards who will go to the grand final of the Sharman Cup. Thank you to the Ponsonby Ponies, a gutsy 2017 effort, and to John Munner can hold his head high. Really, the club was at risk of something of an implosion or demise. And this effort in 2017, to me, will add some weight to the prospects of them being a strong contributor to rugby league in Auckland for a long time to come.
Absolutely, it's very much a stalwart of our system, and as you said there, providing so many Kiwis in the history of rugby league, a very, very proud and prominent club in our history. and great to see them going to the Sharman final and giving themselves an opportunity to be back in the First Division next year.
Well, we're about to hear from Connor Purcell from the Otahuhu Leopards, the big number 10, who is solid as the Otahuhu players salute their fans, their supporters, their families and friends who've come across to pay tribute to them as they celebrate their victory in the semi and into next week's grand final. Let's hear now from Connor Purcell with Corey Rosser.
Connor, you're through to the Sharman Cup final. It's been the goal since you got relegated last year. How does it feel right now?
Exhausted, mate. You know, Ponsonby gave us a real good effort today, leading most of the game, but I'm just proud of the boys and one more step to our ultimate goal.
You started the second half slow and then Tamaguthrie kicked a couple of 40-20s. Looked like you were really on the back foot. What turned things around in that last 10 minutes?
I think just our bond we've had all through the year. Those extra fitness sessions we believe we're doing. We believe we're fitter than everyone else in this competition, and I think all our hard work's just paid off in the end.
Coach John Ackland very calm at half-time. That must have helped as well.
Yeah, just same words every week. Final's just another game. You just run harder and tackle harder. That's what he tells us, and seemed to work today.
That's one goal ticked off, and now the focus all turns to next week. What are you going to have to do better?
I think a few errors, costly ones at times, penalties included. Cut those out of the game, and I believe my team will be fine come next week.
Connor, thanks for joining us, and all the best next week.
Thank you.
Connor Purcell, we'll hear in a moment too from Dion Briggs, not far away. He'll be disappointed. Nice touches, the two biggest men on track. Embrace and acknowledge each other's efforts through the season. It's been a long season for Ponsonby, but as mentioned, it has been a rebuilding season as well. Let's go down and hear from Dion Briggs, who's with Corey.
We're here with Dion Briggs, captain of the Ponsonby Ponies. Dion, a game that kind of toed and froed, and in the end they overran you. What was the key difference today?
Yeah, they hit us on our back foot a few times, and mind you, we had them on their back foot too, but they just capitalised us through the middle, and we just let ourselves down actually in the last 20 minutes there we had them, but they were just the better side on the day.
It looked like you were running over them in that last kind of 15 minutes. You kicked a couple of 40-20s, but was it simply not executing off those chances that probably cost you today?
Yeah, we hit them on the back foot there on their 40-20s, but we just tried to, we couldn't score on their 10. Things weren't going our ways, giving away stupid penalties, and I mean, we've got no one to blame but ourselves.
One game short of the grand final this year, but you must be very proud of what you guys have done this year. It's been a huge turnaround from 2016.
Yeah, I'm really proud. Like some of the boys, a few old boys came back this year. We try to get Ponsonby from the bottom and try to get them up, and you know, we've got a bunch of players there. We just a few more seasons together, we gel together, and we should be all right.
It's not all bad. You've got an off-season trip to Hawaii coming up for a tournament over there, so you'll be looking forward to that, resting up and getting over to Hawaii.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's on the 8th of October. Some of us have never been over there before, and some of the boys are travelling on Tongan or Samoan passports, so it should be good.
Commiserations, Dion, but all the best for the off-season, and we'll see you again next year.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to make a shout out to Rugby League. Thanks for today, and to all the Ponsonby supporters, thank you, and all my whānau and family. O whātu. Cheers.
Nice touch too, and there it goes. There is the semi-final, the first of our 5 broadcast games today. We're going to take a break because it's a long day ahead for us and for you, and we'll be back with the start of our next game featuring Women's Rugby League. Of course, we've got the other semi-final in the Fox Championship. That'll be a doozy too, coming mid-afternoon, and that game featuring, of course, Point Chevalier doing battle with the Howick Hornets. But for now, from our first game, the Leopards successful. They go to the final with a 22-18 victory over the Ponsonby Ponies. That's us for now. We'll be back with the start of our next game coming up shortly on the Auckland Rugby League live streaming day.
This October, world supremacy
is on the line. 14 teams, 1 cup. Everyone thinks they've got what it takes. But there's one thing standing in their way.